Bank South Pacific announces third quarter profit for 2014. Morabit Shipping takes over from Lutheran Shipping in service delivery. We Care Foundation takes a stand to protect women and children.
This is National EMTV News with Tokana Hasavi.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Friday's news. Bank South Pacific has recorded an after-tax profit of 122 million kina for the third quarter of this year. This represents a 16.3% increase from the corresponding year period in 2013. MTV's Maribatulo reports.
In a presentation to investors, analysts and the media, BSP Deputy CEO and Chief Financial Officer Johnson Carlo gave an overview of the bank's performance. Despite revenue decreasing slightly due to the current foreign exchange trading band margins imposed by the central bank, BSP was able to mitigate this by a reduction in the group's operating expenses.
In terms of our costs, we continue to maintain a vigilance over our cost levels. It's partly a response to the variability in the revenue that we've had to deal with over the last two quarters, but it's also business as usual. As you well know, all businesses continually look at costs to find efficiencies and improve performance that way.
The results from the third quarter bring the total profit after tax for 2014 to 384.5 million kina, an increase of 24.2% from the corresponding period in 2013. BSP is also looking to further strengthen its presence in the financial sector with a new subsidiary, BSP Finance, which will commence operations in Fiji on the 10th of November.
BSP Finance opens its doors in Fiji on Monday. We've got the final approvals and the business will open there. We're still progressing with BSP Finance in PNG and hoping that by the end of this month or early next month we'll be able to open the doors of BSP Finance to add additional revenue streams via these wholly owned subsidiaries.
Given the positive performance so far, BSP remains confident the bank will continue to adapt to challenging market conditions and continue to deliver a sound underlying performance. Maribatulo, National EMTV News.
The access to financial literacy and bank loans is becoming easier for PNG citizens compared to past years. This follows an increase in the number of financial institutions in the country, and more people are receiving financial training through the different partnership programs organized by banks and churches. Today saw over 400 participants graduating from the Certificate in Excellency Financial Inclusion program.
CEFI is a financial literacy program that teaches people on the basics of budgeting, saving and spending habits that are healthy for any consumers. This pilot project aims to educate over 120,000 people to practice a savings culture.
You know, one thing that we strongly believe is that we have to work with the existing social networks which reaches the hearts and the minds of the common people. So we feel the church has that outreach.
Through such programs, more people are becoming aware of the benefits of creating bank accounts. It also gives participants the advantage of getting loans to start up their own businesses, and participants are able to identify areas where unnecessary spending can be prevented.
What we learned about budgeting and saving, and I've learned a lot. Like personally for myself, I see that when money comes in, we just misuse the money, we don't save it. So what I've learned is saving money is not supposed to come from the last money.
From the group that graduated today, most of them are mothers. These mothers were encouraged to also teach their children on how to save money at an early age. Taklagunga, National EMTV News.
Police have been stationed at the Lae District Office for the past 7 days in efforts to ward off trouble by unpaid contractors hired by the Lae City Council. Today, dozens came to the Lae District Office to receive payments outstanding for services rendered. Instability within the Lae City Council has been blamed for the delay in payments. Police will continue to maintain their presence. The Cobham district has paid half of its share of the money needed to revive a shipping service for the Morabit province after the demise of Lutheran Shipping. 500,000 kina was given to Morabit Shipping Services, a company now owned by 5 districts, including Cobham and Nawaib.
Several months ago, the liquidation of Lutheran Shipping came as a shock to many throughout Papua New Guinea. The company, synonymous with shipping in Morabit, brought to its knees by chronic mismanagement over the years. Soon after, 5 districts in the Morabit province pooled their resources together and bought some of the ships on offer through the liquidation process. Today, the Cobham district paid $500,000 kina to the new company created in place of the Lutheran Shipping, the Morabit Shipping Services.
Since we didn't have any ships to start with, we bid with other companies to buy up some of those ships.
In total, the districts are expected to raise up to 3 million kina, with contributions coming from Finchhafen, Nawai, Huon, Siasi and Cobham. It's these 5 districts that have been hit hard by the liquidation of Lutheran Shipping. The money will be used to manage the vessels and examine the possibilities of obtaining new ships when resources become available.
That money will help us to get the Giamsao recertified PNG survey certificate issued by NMSA, so that the vessel can be operational and obviously go into Wasu.
Lutheran Shipping's untimely end has affected not only Morabit but other neighbouring provinces as well. Over 20 years, the shipping company scaled back its services to the southern region. Since 2012, services to Medang, East Sepik and Sundown have come to a grinding halt, forcing prices of goods and services to rise. The 5 districts through the Morabit Shipping Services are hoping to reverse that trend. Scott Waide, National EMTV News, Lae.
The National Land Board Chairman will not be dealing with land applications from Western Highlands Province until the Provincial Land and Physical Planning Board is put in place. This was the directive from Lands Minister Benny Allen. There have been a lot of uncontrolled illegal land grabbing and fake land titles of saint land being taken by third-party persons in the province. This makes it hard for the province to plan real developments. Western Highlands Governor Pius Winty also made the same call and supported Minister Allen. Teachers' Houses is an important asset for quality education. While teacher housing is not an employment condition under the Department of Education, teachers are forced to find alternative means of housing, which is expensive. However, today, Gordon Secondary School in the nation's capital opened 2 new teacher houses to help curb this problem.
Many teachers in Papua New Guinea are forced to find their own accommodation because the Education Department is not tasked to build teachers' houses. While this is a big problem for teachers, it also threatens the quality of education in the country.
Without teachers, there is no learning.
As Gordon Secondary head teacher Sam Laura explained, many teachers in the nation's capital are living in squatter settlements and teaching. This can contribute to poor performance of a teacher, in which his or her students are most affected.
A number of our teachers are living in what is called squatter settlement. I'm not talking about settlement, squatter settlement.
The head teacher made these remarks this morning during the official opening of the school's new teachers' houses. The 2 new houses, an initiative from the Mosby Northeast electorate under MP Labi Amayu, had a total cost of 600,000 kina. Mr. Amayu, during his keynote address, said under his leadership, human development is the key investment of his electorate. The MP said his office is supporting the government's move to prioritize education, and the houses are to enhance the output of the teachers.
I know what I do might not be enough to solve the chronic problem that this school has and other same school like such as Gordon has. We give you 2 classrooms, 2 teachers' houses to help enhance the teaching quality. And
the 2 new houses were opened by the MP and witnessed by teachers and students of the school. While this may not be enough to curb the issue on teachers' houses in Port Moresby, The government with the private sector are working to build this vital asset for quality education. More recently, the Central Province has invested nearly over 5 million kina in education to rebuild its degrading infrastructures, including building new teachers' houses. Stanley Ovid Jr., National MTV News.
And National MTV News continues after the break. We Care Foundation helps women and children. The National AIDS Council prepares for December 1 and raising awareness on diabetes. Stay with us for the details. The news. There is a growing number of children on the streets of our nation's capital and some less fortunate ones who cannot afford to go to school, even though we have the free education policy in place. And there are many more women and children facing violence and abuse. We Care, a foundation for women and children at risk of violence and abuse, is taking a stand to help women and children in the nation's capital.
Established and registered in 2007, the foundation supports communities in Port Moresby with help and services needed to enable the marginalized and abandoned young women and children to become good and productive citizens in PNG. Founder and patron of the foundation, Father John Glenn, said the foundation started with him supporting care groups in settlements in Port Moresby.
We were supporting care groups in the settlements. And in the care groups, often then children of single parents and so on, were receiving educational help mostly. And that's where it started.
From the support groups, the foundation has 5 support projects that help women and children, especially in education, feeding programs, early childhood learning, special needs and women empowerment. Father John said the foundation does not take away the problems of the people they help, but assist in lessening their burdens.
What we say to them is, the problems are yours, they're not ours. And if you as a community, if you will take responsibility for the poorest and neediest and most suffering, most vulnerable of the people living in your community, then we will help you. But we will not take over your responsibility. So the community has to accept responsibility and then we help.
One of the main issues faced by the foundation, however, is making sure the community takes ownership of their problems and those around them.
The community, people live here in Port Moresby, especially in settlements, live in their own ethnic groups. So if I'm from this place, I only bother about my people. So there is no real sense of community ownership of whatever is happening in the community. So that's one of the issues that faces us.
The foundation has assisted over 500 children in their education and feeding programs and have helped young people and women. However, their main focus is on helping children in the country. Judith Kasset, National MTV News.
The National AIDS Council today launched the theme for the World AIDS Day that will be held on the 1st of December. The day is dedicated to raising awareness on the AIDS pandemic caused by the spread of HIV and is also the point of focus for the World AIDS campaign.
Many people hold events on World AIDS Day to remember people who died of AIDS-related conditions. However, it is an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in the fight against HIV.
The theme for this year's World AIDS Day is Zero Discrimination, Access to Services is My Right. The theme covers a wide range of issues relating to HIV/AIDS in the country, which includes accessibility to health services.
The most destructive pandemic in history, PNG is estimated to have approximately 30,000 people living with HIV and approximately 1,500 people dying annually from HIV-related diseases. This is only from reported cases of people who are on the ART drugs.
But we know that there are many more people out there dying silently, and our system is not able to track or capture them. We believe in sangoma, we believe in poison and all that sort of thing. So, and other illnesses, we think it's TB, but it is HIV.
Dr. Boone said access to healthcare services is a major problem in PNG, not only due to stigma and discrimination associated with the disease, but mainly from health workers' attitude.
This is a reality for certain key populations or at most rich populations for HIV and people living with The virus are still being denied their rights to access services because of ignorance, prejudice, stigma, and discrimination by service providers.
PNG will join the global community on December 1st to commemorate World AIDS Day, and the NAC have approved a theme that would highlight and increase more awareness in the area of rights violation and accessibility. Judith Kasek, National, MTV News.
There will be a free diabetes checkup held soon at Pacific International Hospital 3 Mile Clinic in Port Moresby. This is in support of the Diabetic Association of Papua New Guinea, hosted by PIH in conjunction with City Pharmacy Limited group of companies. This effort is to be part of the World Diabetes Day, which will be held annually to raise awareness of diabetes and its complications.
It happens when there is too much glucose or sugar in our body. Doctors' advice is to have good diet and a lot of exercises. The awareness walk will begin at the Jack Piddick Park at 5 Mile at 7:30 a.m. Invitation is extended to NGOs, corporates, churches, sports groups, and other business houses. Vasinata Yama, National MTV News.
A new group has been formed to bring people together from different professions. The Papua New Guinea Young Chamber of Commerce and Industry is aimed at creating a wider network for young professionals to develop themselves in their respective careers. It held its first meeting in Port Moresby last night.
The Chamber's role is to groom the next generation of business leaders in Port Moresby. The first meeting last night created an opportunity for them to meet each other and talk about common issues. Young Chamber of Commerce and Industry is a subcommittee to the Port Moresby Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
And this one was sort of started about 3 to 4 months ago, sort of reignited by Charlene Gawi, and she pulled together a group of like-minded young professionals to form a working committee.
President Christopher Heppick wants to see it become a uniting force for change amongst the young professionals. This is a group that can become a driving force in the business sector in the coming years, with networking a key factor in the first meeting.
Mainly appeals to Port Moresby-based young professionals. By young professional, we sort of define as aged between 25 and 35. That seems to be our sort of catchment, target audience.
Guest speaker of the event and member of the Badeli Club, Peter Aitzi, challenged those present to set clear professional goals and work towards it. He said while it is important for young people to achieve those professional goals, it is equally important also to balance one's social life. Taklagunga, National MTV News.
Water company Edaranu is set to begin work on the piping of fresh water to cover 10,000 people living at Erema settlement. The project is part of the ongoing water supply rollout project of the member for Moresby Northeast, Labi Amayu. Upon completion, the water project will see over 100 communal taps in the entire Erema settlement. Each household will have to pay a monthly water bill of 20 kina.
In a brief but significant ceremony, member for Moresby Northeast Labi Amayu presented a cheque of 400,000 kina to Edaranu to begin laying the pipes.
Now me presenting 400,000. Officially going to set long Edaranu, the CEO bags, kissing with a check long. Presence for you people, let me thank you.
Mr. Amayu said an additional 400,000 kina was counterfunded by NCD Governor Powes Pakop. The total 800,000 kina would now see Edaranu connect permanent pipes to the settlement houses.
Plenty of settlement blooming low electric. Only blacklist him. Why? Because the attitude problem from union community. Now two, you must have it. No connect him or pipe he come inside. No roll him out this black pipe. Machine by digging this black ground. Honestly, I can make him free. And it's costing big money.
The member urged the settlers to cooperate with the Erema Welfare Association, which will regulate and ensure every household pays a monthly water bill of 20 kina. Chief Executive Officer of Edaranu, Henry Mokono, said Edaranu would ensure that adequate water pressure and consistent supply would be delivered to the people.
What about you know how plenty of all workman back up, walk along here, me ask him cooperation long, you blow youths. All workman come and start putting ground like putting marana, putting pipeline or so remember I talk. Even I put him on 20 inch pipe or 20 mil or 10 mil or even I put him time through.
Delhi Bagu, National MTV News.
And now we check out the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.395 in the interbank market, and at Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3875, $0.4485 Australian dollars, €0.3095 euro, and 44.16 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa, and copra all closed lower. Copper closed higher, palm oil and crude oil closed lower. And finally, on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 70 points higher, the ASX closed at 32 points higher, and the All Ordinaries closed at 30 points higher. Stay tuned to National MTV News. Among stories after the break, the bank robber who fooled police with a face mask. Stay with us. Thanks for your company and welcome back to the news. The 11th Canoe and Kundu Festival started today in Alatau, Milne Bay Province, and will end on Sunday. The event has grown steadily in size and status and has attracted tourists worldwide. Milne Bay Governor Titus Philemon said the P&O tourist vessel, Pacific Dawn, will anchor in Alatau waters for tourists to visit traditional war canoe racing, pottery and traditional performances. He welcomes all interested people to attend this festival.
The Pacific Dawn under the P&O cruises will be arriving in Alatau also on Saturday the 8th of November as well. So there's about 2,000 plus passengers on that cruise ship. So there'll be a lot of people and also people who are coming in from locally within the province and locally also from within the country.
Papua New Guinea's Click TV and the country's Seventh-day Adventist Church have signed a partnership to place Hope Channel International on Click's national broadcast platform. A first for PNG, Hope TV will be available for free on Click TV's terrestrial and satellite platform starting next week. Click TV's managing director, Richard Broadbridge, said partnering with the church is important as it is in line with the company's strategy to provide content which promotes strong family and cultural values. Hope Channel is a Christian lifestyle television network focusing on balanced Christian living. Turning overseas now, a bank robber in the US has gone to extraordinary lengths to keep his identity a mystery. Like something out of a movie, the man allegedly wore a face mask so realistic it even fooled police.
Look at this bank robber caught in the act, a 60-something white man. Now take a look at this. That's 35-year-old Dion Jordan, the FBI's prime suspect who fooled the feds with the help of this elaborate mask.
When I look at the picture, there was no doubt for me. It was actually our mask.
Ian Marier is the master mask maker behind all these different disguises. And when the FBI sent out this alert following a string of bank robberies in Philadelphia this summer, Marier says he recognized the false face immediately. A custom version, he says, of this $1,500 mask called The Neighbor. He also knew who he sold it to and called police.
And what we did is send all email communication between me and Mr. Dion Jordan to the FBI. That guy actually received that exact mask at his home address under his own name.
With Marier's help, the cops tracked down Jordan for questioning. And while he has yet to be charged in the bank robberies, he is now in custody on other charges. They also say he's confessed to murder since his arrest.
This young man is, if convicted, is going to be going away for a very long time.
A tough reality he may have to face.
It's the first time for us that something like that happened. I sincerely hope it will be the last.
The name Rob ONeill may not mean much to you because until now, he's just been known as the shooter, the man who killed Osama bin Laden. He has now been named as the Special Forces soldier who did shoot the world's most wanted terrorists ahead of an interview with Fox News in which he reveals his identity.
Team 6, the most selective and celebrated unit in our military.
Robert ONeill spent 8 of his 16 years as a SEAL as an operator and team leader with the legendary Naval Special Warfare Development Group.
And he killed this man, Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, he says, with 2 shots to the head.
2 green, 1 red.
His story was the stuff of legend, literally. Few men, after all, can boast that they've been reflected on the silver screen 3 times in their own lifetimes. Bill O'Neill's exploits were recreated in the Somali hostage drama Captain Phillips.
Execute.
Bad guy, senior Taliban commander.
In Lone Survivor, the tale of a SEAL operation that went bloody and wrong in Afghanistan. And of course, in Zero Dark 30.
All stations, target secure, target secure.
All Hollywood blockbusters partly based on his secret operations.
ONeill is a veteran of more than 400 combat missions.
But this month, in an interview scheduled for Remembrance Day, he's going to go public and break his professional code of silence to tell the story of the day bin Laden died. Bob ONeill is campaigning for war veterans to be treated better. He left the SEALs after 16 years service, 4 years short of his full contract, and believes that, like many others, he's been unfairly denied full medical and pension rights. Writing as Mark Owen, another SEAL on the bin Laden raid shone light into the covert corners of America's secret wars. But because of his book, he's been ostracized by his comrades.
I would go back overseas today and deal with fighting ISIS face to face rather than deal with the last 2 years again.
The code of silence is imposed by special forces the world over, and those who break it can expect very little sympathy.
The really most effective sanctions on people is the opinion of their peer group. And in my experience, people who break the rules, break the code of the team, tend to get shunned by the team.
That may be so, but if former warriors can navigate through the legal minefields and social sanctions that follow them breaking their silence, a lucrative career can be found in books, on film, and on the celebrity speaker circuit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robert ONeill.
And that international report concludes our news segment for tonight. True Kind Sports is next. Governor Kelly Naru's words of encouragement for Team Morobe and 400 technical officials ready for the PNG Games. That and more coming up after the break.
True Kind Sports.
BSP PNG Games 2014. 8 days to go. Support your province.
Morobe Governor Kelly Naru gave a final word of encouragement to Team Morobe today. They were going to camp today to begin preparations for the PNG Games. He says the province must prepare to compete fiercely.
In a show of unity, Team Morobe gathered at the Tutumang today for final addresses from the Morobe provincial government. Sponsors and supporters of the sporting codes gathered in solidarity to prepare for the 20 provinces that will invade Ley in 8 days.
You got all some judge about you play stop. Me talking you play. This is a team I mean of gold. You got not level you win him gold is not you black simcam because gold you black finish.
Morobe Governor Kelly Naru gave a rousing speech late this afternoon motivating athletes. But his personal grudge with NCD Governor Paus Pakop continues and took precedence today.
You are the Russian terrorist because me by Russian terrorist I go on Russian you.
It comes after Morobe successfully won a bid to have the game staged in Ley City.
Same speed.
And the last several months has been a staging of one of the biggest preparations for the country's biggest sporting event. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV Sports, Ley.
Over to cricket. The Hebel PNG Barramundis travelled out to Australia yesterday to prepare for their first one-day international match against Hong Kong. With the expertise and experience of former England Test cricketer Jarrett Jones to draw form, Coach Deepak Patel believes the boys should do exceptionally well as they have a wealth of experience playing international test cricket.
The Barras step out to face Hong Kong in their inaugural one-day international match in Townsville, Australia. They will become the 23rd country in the world to play in an ODI. Coach Deepak Patel has confirmed a strong team who has years of experience playing together at several international matches.
Their preparation is as good as we could possibly give them. They've done all the right work, albeit that from a coaching perspective you're never happy. But overall, I'm pleased and I'm quietly confident going into this the first ever series.
With the experience of former England Test cricketer Gerard Jones in the Barras, Patel believes this weekend will mark a milestone for Cricket PNG, being an incredible achievement. Playing in an ODI is the pinnacle of countless years of cricket, and with all that at stake, Patel commends the boys on their efforts for their hard work and determination.
The cricket world is aware of what Cricket PNG have been able to achieve, certainly gaining full one-day international cricket status.
Chris Amini has been appointed captain, with no real surprises seeing brother Charles Amini Jr. and senior reputable cricketers Jack Varakavera, Asad Vala, Norman Vanua and the usual candidates making the cut. The Barras will face Hong Kong at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, with the match to be streamed live on the EMTV website. Lorraine Genia, National EMTV Sports.
And you can watch our Barramundis in their first ODI match streamed live on www.emtv.com.pg tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. And Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Good to have you back with Trukai Sports. The PNG Olympic Committee has committed 40,000 kina to the PNG Sports Foundation purposely for the PNG Games. The funding will see 400 technical officials officiating at the PNG Games in Lae. It is also an opportunity to expose the technical officials to this level of competition, as well as a platform for development.
Any sporting code would not be what they are without referees, timekeepers and marshals. And to ensure that our games are delivered by the best, the PNG Olympic Committee have come on board to support the Sports Foundation with 40,000 kina to send 400 technical officials to Lae for the 6th BSP PNG
I'd
Games.
like to again emphasize the importance of encouraging and supporting their two entities in ensuring that we do have a successful PNG game.
The PNG Sports Foundation is embarking on fulfilling the strategic objective of achieving sporting excellence, equipping coaches, volunteers and administrators with necessary skills and training, as well as using sports as a tool for development, and is grateful for the support that they have received from the PNG Olympic Committee.
The money will help to meet the shortfalls that we have in relation to take our technical officials over to Lae. And as Sir John highlighted, it's important that the role of the technical officials are very important. When we talk about development of sport, we focus on the athletes, but importantly it's the technical officials that also make it happen to ensure that the sport grows in the country.
The BSP PNG Games is also a platform for technical officials to improve their knowledge in their respective 28 sporting codes, and adds to the capacity building that the Sports Foundation is aiming to achieve.
We want them to also provide pathway for them to achieve the highest result that they can in terms of being one of the best in the world.
Jeremy Moggy, National EMTV Sports.
Overseas now to Rugby League in the Four Nations. West Tigers prop Aaron Woods says he is ready to stand up for his country as the Kangaroos battle for Four Nations survival. Australia will play Samoa on Sunday.
It's been a breakout year for Aaron Woods. From playing a key role in all three Origin matches for the Blues to a starting spot for the Kangaroos.
The goal was just to play consistent footy at the Tigers and to try and keep a spot in the New South Wales side. And to play all three games, I got to start all three of them. I was pretty pumped about, and yeah, just to make this squad it's a dream come true.
There's a lot of responsibility on his young shoulders in Sunday's do-or-die clash with Samoa in Wollongong. Down on props, he'll partner Canberra's Josh Papali.
Samoa going to be a big challenge this week. They're they should have won their first 2 games, to be honest with you. I think they had England over the ropes, and New Zealand were lucky to get them in the last 3 minutes. So we're not taking these guys easy. They're going to be ready and they're going to be ripping and tearing.
Another rookie Roo who's also had a breakout year is South Centre Dylan Walker. He admits to nerves as he entered his first senior rep camp.
It's sort of like the first day of school, going there, a bit of nerves, don't know what people are going to be like.
He also thanked his teammates for their support following his first test against New Zealand. Moved to fullback after Greg Inglis left the field sick, he struggled under the high ball.
The first test wasn't the best of tests and not a game that I would really like to bear on, Moving on to the second test, the boys really stuck behind me through training the whole week, and credit to them, and it really helped me and supported me.
At 20, Walker has won a premiership and played test football. He knows who to thank for helping him keep it real.
The people that support you and around you through your whole family life, to your friends that you've went to school with and blokes you've grown up with, just you got to have a real good supportive base, I believe, and that's how it keeps you grounded and just be a humble person.
Woods and Walker epitomise the spirit of this young Kangaroos side. They're thriving under the pressure of taking on Samoa here at Wynn Stadium on Sunday in a must-win clash. Woods in particular completely understands there are many worse places for a 23-year-old to be.
It was the best time of my life. I'm really enjoying it. I just love life. It's awesome. I'm playing rugby league for a job. It's the best ever.
Also in football, and the Parramatta Eels want to bring back some American professionalism as a souvenir from their end-of-season trip to Seattle. They're taking everything in their pre-season camp.
Summer school has started for the Eels at the US college base. Parramatta bunkered down in Seattle at the state-of-the-art home of the Washington Huskies.
Oh, they're unbelievable. Their gym is massive, and the field obviously is fantastic as well. It's one of the best stadiums I've probably ever been in.
How well everything was drilled. They had 5-minute blocks, and after every block, everyone knew exactly what the next job was. All the support staff were on board and knew exactly what was happening, and it was just really well run.
The cashed-up college franchise treated the Eels to their giant gym, 3 times bigger than the one at Parramatta. Then a run on the slick synthetic track. Their captain right at home in the end zone.
There's so many things. I'm sure the coaches would have taken plenty of notes. There's a lot of things we can take home and help make us a better squad.
The trip also doubled as a bonding session.
It's been a fantastic trip so far, so just hopefully we can just keep building some more memories and have a lot of fun.
And that ends True Kai Sports tonight. Coming up next, the weather details. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Looking at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours in southern region, all centres fine weather except Popondetta, evening showers. In Momase, cloudy with patchy rain expected in Ley City, mostly fine in Madang, and cloudy with a shower or two expected in Wewak and Whanimo. In the New Guinea Islands, mostly fine expected in Kavang and Rabaul, evening showers in Kimbe and Lorengau and Buka to look forward to brief showers. And in the Highlands region, all centres, fine weather, then morning fog. Forecast for small ships, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Straits and Daru Island to Kiwai Island, Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point through to Arama Coast and Samurai Island, including waters of Samurai Island to Cape Vogel to Wasu Point to Finschhafen, waters west of Long Island to Madang to Bogia through to Wewak, Aitape to Whanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas of 0.5 metres to 1.5 metres, waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, seas of 1.5 to 2 metres, waters of Finschhafen including Vitia Strait, Siasi Islands through to Long Island, seas of 1 metre to 2 metres, waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas of 0.5 metres to 1.3 metres, waters of New Ireland to East New Britain through to Bougainville, seas of 0.5 to 1.3 metres, and lastly waters of Western New Britain, seas of 1.5 to 2 metres. An ocean forecast for PNG areas: Coral Sea sees moderate with southeast winds at 15 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea sees slight to moderate with southeast winds at 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea sees slight to moderate with southeast to westerly winds at 10 to 15 knots. And Pacific Ocean sees slight to moderate with southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. Now before we go, recapping our top stories again. Bank South Pacific records 122 million kina in profit for the third quarter of this year. Also, We Care Foundation takes a stand assisting women and children in need. And PNG Olympic Committee provides funds to assist technical officials at the PNG Games. Well, that's been National EMTV News. On behalf of the news crew, I'm Tokana Hasavi. Thanks for your company. You have a safe weekend. Take care. Good night.